I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi guys! Woo! Welcome back. Another week. This is season 1, episode 8 of Dave. I am your host, Ashley Dior-Jones, and I cannot do this alone. I have the wonderful hip-hop fanatic, Karla Contreras.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back.
Hey, girl. So glad to be back. And just FYI, guys, this is not the finale. We have 2 more episodes of Dave. So if you guys watched last week, you heard that flub. But I did my research this time, and I know we've got 2 more shows. So I'm so excited. Today, we are going to chat about label meetings. We're going to talk about Justin Bieber, Kourtney Kardashian, and some house parties, all of which went down in this episode today. We also, of course, are going to have our special segment, What's Behind the Name. Can't wait to hear what Karla has to share with us today. But I guess first and foremost, Karla, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I feel like not much happened. Again, like why? Not much happened. I love the cameos. Thought they were like super good. Other than that, I just feel like it was just kind of stagnant.
Yeah. I feel the same way when I was watching. I was like, oh, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point
really
of this episode? Is he gonna get signed? Like, was that, because that was only like a really small portion of the episode. I thought we'd at least like get to him signing some paperwork, but that didn't happen. And it kind of just went away. Like, it didn't even happen, which was bizarre to me.
The last company didn't give him a contract? The one that was kind of like, we won't get in your creative business. We just want to like help launch you, basically.
I guess maybe they did. They just didn't make it very clear, because I think they're the ones who introduced him to the Blanco producer guy, and that's kind of how the episode unraveled. But first off, let's talk about all of his label meetings. What did you think about Dave's interaction with the label executives at all these different corporations?
I have such mixed feelings about it, because he was being kind of a freak, right? Like,
yeah, he was being a total
it
weirdo.
was weird. But then I thought about it longer, and I was like, I mean, he's kind of walking into it knowing what he's worth, and like not really settling for less, which is the mentality I think you should have. Because I feel like if you walk in there willing to accept anything, they're kind of going to lowball you.
Totally.
So I think his approach is, well, like what he's trying to get out of it is good, but his approach is a little weird. I'm like, can you please act normal? This is not okay.
And like the first label he went to, like the guys were making all of those like dick jokes. I was like, this is so weird. Like, I get that Dave's music is, kind of a different level and a little wilder than most, but I think they were just taking his like penis references to a whole nother level. And I was like, inside a corporate meeting, I just thought that was so bizarre, but it was so funny. I appreciated that it was so like very tongue in cheek.
I kind of felt like they were like mocking him a little bit, or like maybe not mocking him, but not taking him seriously, which kind of was like a bummer. Because I feel like he is talented. He's just, it's just his personality. So I wish they would have taken him a little more seriously, but at the same time, how are you going to take his content seriously when everything's named after like penises?
Totally. And he walked in. I did like his mom's suit though. I was like, that suit is fly. I thought he looked really great in all of his corporate meetings. And I thought it was really funny how he compared himself to like a white Kanye meets Eminem meets Zane. I was like, wow, he really thinks highly of himself, but I'm a fan. So it's like, I get it. And like, I appreciated just how he was like, this is my craft. This is what I do. I'm freaking amazing. And if you don't sign me, like, you're an idiot. And I'm not going to sign this like trash contract either. I appreciated that too. That he was like, oh, I know this contract is no good. Like, do better.
And Mike's like, can we at least read it? I mean, he could have literally just said no. He had to eat a part of the contract. That was like his way of saying no. He's eccentric.
So extra. And then that metamorphosis of all of the faces. I was like, really, Dave? Like, come on, dude. You gotta like, that was just wild. But I also appreciate like Mike just like putting his head down, just being like, how did I even freaking get myself into this? But one of the awesome parts about his label meetings was being introduced to pop producer, right? Benny Blanco. Yeah. What did you think about this scene at Benny's house?
I thought it was like So I didn't really understand it because I was like, okay, so they sent you to him because he's obviously the best of the best, and then he's telling you suck, but he knows how to like make it work. I'm like, is that what it takes? Just kind of like mediocre talent, and you kind of just spin it into like what will sell, and that's how a star is. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I like how honest he was though. I feel like Dave needed that, like a little kick in the ass to kind of like push him forward. I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I thought it was cool how he was like, how many like Billboard number ones do you have? And I liked how he was kind of dogging the beats. Like these beats were definitely made by someone white. And it was actually his best bud Elz, who is far from white, who made those beats. And I just thought that was interesting. But I mean, come on. The crux of this whole episode was when freaking Justin Bieber's head popped from behind that piano. I was so shocked and so excited. What did you think when you saw
I'm gonna
him?
be a little shady, but literally, I was like, "This is the cleanest I've seen Justin Bieber in like 2 years."
Yeah, I thought he looked amazing. I thought he looked really
compared
good.
to his like beard and crazy like little like hobo look he has going on sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, he looks like my teenage crush that I used to have.
He looked so hot. He looked happy and healthy. He looked like he was in good spirits. It was so good to see him. And then for him to invite Dave to his house party, like so exciting, so lit. Dave he could almost like pinch himself, right? He was very excited.
He was practicing his dance moves at their barbecue.
Yes, I saw. The barbecue where he mentioned that none of his friends could join along, right? What do you think about that? Like if a really good friend of yours and maybe even your boyfriend got invited to a huge celebrity's house party and didn't bring you along, how would you feel about that?
First of all, that's so shady. How do you not bring your people with you? But then at the same time, I kind of was like, why wouldn't you want to bring them with you? Like, they're going to make you feel comfortable. Every rapper has an entourage that I've ever seen. So, like, that's your entourage, you know? And I feel like everyone is like so unique and awesome. So I feel like he should have definitely brought them with him. I think he was definitely overthinking it. Like, this isn't like a formal party, you know? Like, you can just bring them. What's the worst that's going to happen? I think everyone took it super well, though.
Yeah.
Like no one really gave him a hard time, which I would have. If I was Ally, I would have given him the hardest time.
Yeah, I was kind of like, but I also understood where Dave was coming from. Like, this is your first kind of big chance to get in front of these huge, like, influencers of the world, people who can really put you on. You don't want to impose, you don't want to ask for too much. So I get where Dave was coming from. He just wanted to kind of tread lightly. And so I kind of understood that. If I were like the girlfriend or a friend, I would have felt bad, but I would have definitely like understood after because, you know, he's moving on up in the world.
Definitely. I mean, to be invited to a party like that, but at the same time, once you kind of saw what the party was, like it was nothing formal.
Totally.
At all. Like his friends could have totally blended in with the crowd, you know? I think now moving forward, he definitely will like know what to expect because I don't think he went in prepared at all. Clearly by his outfit, first of all, that is not how you show up to an LA party, okay?
It was wild. I dug the gold sequins jacket though. I was like, you can't miss him. Like he's definitely gonna garner some attention just by wearing that gold sequins Michael Jackson jacket. I mean, it wouldn't have been my taste, but you know, he knows how to get noticed. Dave knows how to get noticed by any means necessary. And I think that's one of the reasons I like him too. Not just because his music is pretty dope, but he's just funny and he knows how to you know, make something out of nothing, which I appreciate. So guys, if you have any comments or whatever your thoughts are about the show, definitely let us know. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, so we can give you more AfterBuzz info and shows. But besides that, let's talk about the actual Bieber house party. So like when Dave walks into this apartment or this mansion, excuse me, what were your first thoughts?
I mean, it looked like a typical LA party to me. The only thing that kind of caught me off guard was the fact that Justin Bieber wasn't actually there. So I'm like, what is the point of this party then? In reality, that kind of threw me off. I didn't understand that.
I was shocked too. I was shocked that he wasn't there. Yeah, like if you're throwing this huge LA party, like why not be there? But I guess if you're Justin Bieber, you kind of do whatever the heck you want to do and throw caution to the wind. And it's like, whatever. But it was crazy that Kourtney Kardashian just happened to be sitting at the same table. Like, what were your first thoughts when she came on the screen?
Well, I kind of had a feeling, I don't know why, I kind of had a feeling that one of the Kardashians was going to make like a cameo in this series. I'm so glad they went with Kourtney. She was like my all-time favorite, most interesting to look at Kardashian.
She is.
And when I saw her, she literally just played herself perfectly. Like super like I'm too cool, like monotone, talking about the randomest things, like pulling her kid out of her vagina. Yes. I loved it. I thought it was like perfect. And then she actually had her best friend there. I think her name is Stephanie. She's always on her IG page, which I think used to be Kim Kardashian's assistant. So I thought that was pretty cool too, that she kind of brought her friend along.
Yeah, I was really happy to see her on the episode, and she seemed like just so calm and cool. And I loved how she was like, yeah, in 2007, a man gave birth. And Dave was like, that actually didn't happen. And she's like, no, it did. And just them going back and forth about that, I thought was really cute. But I felt like she did a really good job, like in just showing up at the party and, you know, acting as herself in this episode. I thought she was great. I thought she was super smooth and super cool. And I thought she looked gorgeous. So that was a fun little cameo. Anything else about the house party that kind of...
So I think I like eventually started thinking way too much about this episode, because I was like, this episode seemed like a little like pointless, right? But then I was like, could this be like metaphor to every, like, okay, so this is my thoughts. I'm gonna put this all together for you. So I'm like, a lot of the conversations in the party were pretty pointless and like meaningless. It was weird to me. Then I was like, maybe it's like metaphor to what people really think LA is like, just like a bunch of people pretending to be doing something. That was what I took away from it. I was like, I couldn't really wrap my head around the episode, but I kind of felt like it was really just trying to portray LA just as like this big, beautiful, glamorous place where there's really nothing going on with people that are just a little bland, you know? I don't know.
I think that's a really good point, actually, Carla. And I think it's interesting how at the end of the party, when Elz and Emma actually showed up, and, you know, Dave was super apologetic. He was like, I'm so sorry. I should have invited you. Like, it was silly for me to not include you in this situation. But like, you're absolutely right. It was just like a beautiful house with just people like chatting and having a good time, but nothing like spectacular. You know, I feel like
nothing was really going on.
Yeah, I feel like he has way more fun with his friends and family at home, which I think we can definitely relate to, which is very interesting that they...
Yes.
You may be onto something, Carla, because I mean, the show has been throwing us so much kind of subliminal messages, and I think you could definitely be onto something. Like, maybe that life isn't all it's cracked up to be.
There's not much depth to it, or substance is kind of what I took away from it. And his friends are, so that's kind of what he needs to not forget about.
Totally. But I still can't believe that Elz like headbutted Marshmellow. Like, how did that...
Oh my God. First, I couldn't believe he spilled a drink on Marshmellow.
The worst.
And he was like, and then he was about to get Benny's number so he can send over his beads, and he totally botched that. He's like self-destructive.
He is. It was crazy. And yeah, I just thought, I was glad that the guys finally came and they finally got, you know, into the party, and everything kind of ended okay. And we got some really cool cameos out of this episode. So I hope you're right. I hope the underlying message was just that, you know, don't, like, your life is what it is, and it's probably really great, and, you know, probably doesn't get much better than that. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to chat about before we get into your special segment?
After for you, what did you think about the bar fight Ally, that guy? Did you think like her reaction was appropriate, or do you understand why she got so mad?
With guys at bars and drinking, I honestly try to stay as far away as possible. You know, if it were me, I would have just like gotten my drink and like moved to the different end of the bar. Like, I wouldn't have kept going back and forth with him. But that's just who she is. You know, she's not gonna let anything just fly. And I appreciate that about Emma. She is so strong, and she is so smart, and she does know so much about football, and she's not like a regular schmegular degular girl. So I get how how and why she did that. I probably wouldn't have personally, but I understand her perspective. What about you?
See, I love that we're like so different because I would have done exactly what she did. I would have kind of made him feel like an idiot. Like, what do you mean? Because I'm a girl, I can't know about football. Like, I loved her reaction. I thought it was so on point. I feel like I would have done the same thing. So, you know, I'm taking you to the bar with me because I can't be trusted with my personality by myself.
Oh my gosh, I just try to stay out of trouble. It's just like drinking and football. It can get nasty. It can get dirty. So I just try to stay away. But I love how strong you are, and I appreciate that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go to a bar, and we'll keep each other in line.
Quarantine.
Oh yeah, we can even go out. That's really sad.
The bar is in my kitchen at the moment.
Yeah, we'll have to do like a hangout or something instead.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's get into your special segment. What's behind the name?
I feel like you always know the answer, which is not fair because I'm supposed to be the hip hop fanatic here, and you know everything.
I know a little bit.
So I'm scared to get to know this one as well, but if you do, it's okay.
Okay.
So this week I have Pusha T. Where do you think Pusha T got his name from? Do you actually know this one or no?
I don't know this one.
Okay, I was like trying to pick one where I'm like, she can't know this one.
I know Pusha T. There was like a rapper back in the day, and his name was Pusha. So maybe he's like trying to reincarnate the old school Pusha and just added a T to the end. I don't know. Right. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I have no idea.
Ryan, do you want to jump on in this if you're still there listening to us?
I'm going to go with... So interestingly enough, I saw Pusha T live.
No way.
I did, yeah.
Look at that.
Firefly Music Festival.
Wow.
I'm going to go with... He's tall. So the T is for tall. Or he's mad at tall people. He pushes tall people.
That's cool.
Love it. So he used to be a drug back before his rapping days. So it actually comes from push a ton, which I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about drugs, but I'm assuming a ton of something, obviously. Not too sure what, but that's basically what it stands for. So it's basically just like not really forgetting where he comes from and, you know, paying homage to that. So that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna have to push a ton of what? Does anyone know the answer to this?
I could guess, but yeah, probably a lot.
So that's what that stands for. Isn't that so like random and cool?
It is so random. And look at him now. Like he's married. I think he has like a baby on the way or something. He's just out there living his best life. I mean, look at where
he's pushing a ton of money.
Right, exactly.
And
he needs
music.
to push some over here.
Please.
So what do you think will happen in episode 9 of Dave? What do you think is going to go down next week? Any predictions?
Ooh, I'm hoping he goes in the studio with someone big, like Benny sends him over.
Like, who would be like the biggest person?
I think I like said this another week, but I hope his money's worth for that YG verse he was supposed to get.
Right, I forgot.
So I
about
hope he eventually comes back, and his $10,000 are gone. You know,
that's
he
true.
needs to get his money's worth.
So
I hope that happens, and that he takes Elz with him. I feel like Elz needs to break through with him. So that's what I hope happens.
Yeah. So next week, I think that we are going to get a little bit more of like Elz and Emma's relationship. Oh, I think I called. It's Ally is Dave's girlfriend, but I think that we'll get more into Elz. Sorry about that earlier, guys. I think Emma and Elz will finally like open up their relationship to the rest of their friends and kind of let them know what's happening. And gosh, now you got me thinking if a really cool producer came on, or like, you know who I want to see next episode? I want to see Drake. Like Drake
that would be
to drop in.
Epic.
So freaking epic. If they can get Justin Bieber, they can get Drake in there. And I want Drake and Dave in the studio. That's really what I want to see.
Give him some of that oboe swag.
Yes. And Drake is winning right now. So it would just be the coolest collab, I think. Ooh,
imagine they both took this slide.
Oh my gosh, I would die. How cute would that be? And then they could have just another hit record. Drake he just doesn't know how to quit. And I think Dave would definitely appreciate some of that good fortune.
Geniusness.
Exactly. Anything else you want to talk about before we close?
No, I think we got it. No.
I think so too. So where can everyone find you if they're not watching you at 5 o'clock at the Dave after show?
You can find me on Instagram at Karla L. Contreras and Twitter at Karla_C. I also do Siren and Shaw the Sunset if you want to check that out.
Yes. And I am, of course, Ashley Dior-Jones. I also do the after show for Devs, which is also on FXX. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely a show you're going to want to check out. We're talking about the finale today, but you can definitely check back to look at previous episodes, but it's an amazing show. And thanks for watching. Thanks for continuing to stay with us, guys, and we appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.